ότι είμαστε live, εγώ να πω και να ζητήσω, όπως πάντα ζητάω στα mail μας, να μου κάνετε ένα σχόλιο, να μου πείτε αν όντως, κορίτσια μου, μας βλέπετε live, και αν όχι, και κάτσε λίγο. Όχι, αυτό νομίζω βγαίνει στο προσωπικό. Δώσουμε ένα λεπτάκι. Okay. Ωραία, αυτό με βγάλει στο προσωπικό, άρα από εκεί θα βγω στο group. Ένα λεπτάκι, Στεφανία μου. Έτσι κι αλλιώς έχουμε χρόνο. Να, βλέπεις, γι' αυτό τα πάντα 1 τέταρτο πριν τα κάνω, γιατί ποτέ δεν ξέρεις τι γίνεται και με την τεχνολογία και όλα αυτά. Λοιπόν. Okay, ωραία. Πάμε πάλι live on Facebook. Ωραία. Ναι. Το βρήκα τώρα. Share group. Ωραία. Add to your group. Τέλεια. You go live. Ωραία. Λοιπόν, καλησπέρα στα κορίτσια της ομάδας, στα μέλη μας, καλώς μας ήρθατε. Θέλω, εάν είναι εύκολο, να μου πείτε, όπως πάντα σας ζητώ, στα σχόλια, εάν μας βλέπετε και μας ακούτε κανονικά και ότι είναι όλα ok, γιατί παίρνει λίγο χρόνο να βγούμε live. Επομένως, αν μπορείτε, ναι, μας βλέπω live στο κινητό μου, αλλά παρόλα αυτά θα χαρώ πολύ και εσείς, κορίτσια μου, να μας γράψετε στα σχόλια, να μας γράψετε ότι μας βλέπετε και μας ακούτε κανονικά, γιατί είναι πολύ σημαντικό να ξέρουμε ότι είμαστε live και ότι ακουγόμαστε μια χαρά. Λοιπόν, σήμερα είναι μια πάρα πολύ ξεχωριστή μέρα. Θα μιλήσω, όπως και στην προηγούμενη συνέντευξη που κάναμε με τη Διευθύντρια του Ελληνικού Κέντρου, λίγο στα ελληνικά στην αρχή, να πω το καλώς ορίσατε στα μέλη μας και μετά θα ξεκινήσουμε καθ' όλη τη διάρκεια στα αγγλικά, ακριβώς όπως είχαμε κάνει και στην προηγούμενη συνέντευξη. Επομένως, μην διστάσετε, τις ερωτήσεις σας μπορείτε να μας τις κάνετε στα ελληνικά κάτω στα σχόλια, κανένα πρόβλημα, θα το κάνω μετάφραση εγώ. Ξέρω ότι κάποιοι που μας γράψατε ήδη στα σχόλια του event ότι δεν θα τα καταφέρετε, μη σας αγχώνει καθόλου, γιατί εμείς το κάνουμε recorded το συγκεκριμένο και θα μπορέσετε να το δείτε εκ των υστέρων, όπως κάνουμε με όλες μας τις μεγάλες συνεντεύξεις. Έχουμε ήδη πάρα πολλές ερωτήσεις από όλες σας και θα τις καλύψω όλες. Και πριν ξεκινήσω και προλογίσω τη Στεφανία και το θέμα της συζήτησης, όπως είπα στα αγγλικά, θέλω να επισημάνω κάτι. Ξέρετε ότι αυτές τις κουβέντες, τις συζητήσεις, τις διαδικτυακές, τις κάνουμε, συγγνώμη, το Zoom μου κάνει κάτι περίεργα. Ναι, όλα καλά. Λοιπόν, τις κάνουμε πάντοτε αυτές τις συζητήσεις διαδικτυακά μαζί σας. Επομένως, τις ερωτήσεις σας, τα σχόλιά σας, τις σκέψεις σας, μπορεί να έχετε ζήσει μια ανάλογη εμπειρία. Εάν μπορείτε να μας το αναφέρετε και να μας το πείτε στα σχόλια. Αυτό είναι πάρα πολύ σημαντικό. Λοιπόν, τώρα θα ξεκινήσω λίγο στα αγγλικά. Και το σημερινό μας θέμα, όπως ξέρετε όλες, είναι καριέρα, έτσι. Επομένως, ξεκινάω κανονικά να προλογίζω το θέμα στα αγγλικά. I'm really excited to be here today in this virtual space with our EGL network. We are 8,000 members, and I'm so excited to be the founder of this beautiful community. I want to give special thanks to a very special guest who is here with us today to share some of her wisdom, her best tips and best practices that can actually help us to elevate our career, to elevate even our well-being and mental health when it comes to our career kind of journey. So I would like to say that today the interview is all about a conversation. It's an open conversation between Stefania and me, but also among us and the members of our community, because yes, this interview is recorded, but also it is taking place live on our EGL group, and we're really excited about it. A little bit about the today topic. We're going to discuss about the steps and the secrets in terms of how we can actually upgrade our career. I was really excited to see how many of you were really interested in this topic. We received so many questions. I'm so glad I will have the chance to actually directly ask Stefania today during this interview. So some of the key topics we will cover today, just for those of you who will actually watch this replay. So the first topic is all about top tips when it comes to looking for a career path in the world of technology. The second is all about best practices in terms of how we can build the right resume, the right cover letter. Next is all about best practices when it comes to an interview. I know many of us, including myself, every single time I have an interview, someone is interviewing me, it causes me a little bit of tension. Imagine what this happens when we have, a job interview, right? So many of us actually, it can make us feel nervous. The next topic is all about LinkedIn. So we're going to discuss briefly about how you can build a fantastic profile on LinkedIn where recruiters and future employers can actually pay attention to what you do and who you are, and a little bit about your background, really. So how you can stand out. The next topic is all about how we can, what are the best ways we can get also an amazing career in the world of technology. And then we're going to talk a little bit about mental health and career, and we're going to share a few really good advice and best practices in terms of how to build the right work-life balance, because so many of us are struggling with work-life balance. I want to give a little bit, for those of you who do not know Stefania already, Stefania Triantou is a talent acquisition specialist and an ardent advocate for people's career advancement. She brings a blend of over 5 years of recruitment experience and a deep academic grounding with a master's degree in strategic human resource management. She is a recruiter at EMEA at Meraki by Cisco. And the main reason why I admire her so much, because it's all about women empowerment and uplifting other women. So she's dedicated to championing the career development, other women's career development, using her knowledge and skills to bridge gender gaps and empower women to reach their full potential in their chosen fields. Stefania, thank you so much for accepting my invitation. Thank you so much for being here today to present, and how lucky we are, and to hear you answering some questions from our community. So I'm really grateful that you made the time today to be here with us, and I really appreciate you. So welcome.
Hello, Alexandra. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh my God, the pleasure is mine. Thank you so much for having me here today. I wish I could meet everyone that is attending today, or everyone that will watch this recording later. I hope that I will in the future. We should organize the next one on site. I'm excited about all the topics we're going to discuss. But before we start, Alexandra, I have an admin question. I'm really sorry. And as I'm going to share my screen, and I received that Urban Yoga Labs workspace agent entered the waiting room, and they're asking whether I should admit or not admit. Not sure about this one.
Do not worry about it. It's our
I'll
AI.
ignore.
It's our AI kind of tool. So so don't worry about
Amazing.
it.
Amazing. Okay.
It's automatically taking notes on our meetings, but we need to admit it actually to enter the room. So now
Love it. Love it. Okay. Love that we're using AI. We're going to discuss about AI today. So it's I'm glad that you brought that up. Okay. So everyone, I have prepared a presentation for this session today. Hopefully it's going to be helpful for everyone. I'm just going to share my screen very quickly.
And in the
Alexandra,
meantime, I just want to say that all your comments, all your thoughts, all your feedback, I will share live with Stefania every 3 to 4 slides. So I'll let her present, I'll let her share her wisdom with us. And from time to time, we will just take some mini breaks to discuss your questions, guys. So Stefania, I've just let you, now we'll just let you to guide us through the entire presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited. Okay, so everyone, hi. As I said again, my name is Stefania Triantou. Here on this first slide, I just wanted to give you just a brief, let's say, introduction of myself. I mean, Alexandra has given an amazing presentation. Already, I'm a full stack recruiter and talent sourcer at Cisco Meraki. I specialize particularly in technical recruiting, that is hiring particularly technical talent, but not only, it's just that this is my main responsibility. I have, before transitioning into the tech industry, I had a rich background in retail, customer service roles, managing teams. I do hold a master's degree in human resource management, and indeed, I am a passionate advocate of women's careers, people's careers, and I do everything that I can in my power just to foster an inclusive and diverse environment, at least in the workplace that I'm on. Please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. That's what I put over there, the barcode. I would love to keep the conversation going outside of this space. And LinkedIn is where I hang out every day anyways. So you can always find me there. Now, I decided one of the reasons that I wanted to come here today was because I know exactly how it is to leave your home country and go to another country and start from scratch, try to find a new job and trying to find resources, best tips, best practices on how you can find this new job, how you can advance your career, how you can get a promotion. And as a woman, I know the struggles. I know the ups and downs. So I'm here today and I'm hoping that I will help as many women as possible. So please, if there is any way that I can assist you today with specific questions or any other day, just let me know. Just stay connected. The agenda has already been covered by Alexandra. It's all about career, advancing our career, getting a new job, building our personal brand, resume writing, improving our LinkedIn profile. And of course, we're going to talk about AI, which is my favorite topic, and specific tips on how you can keep a healthy mind at the same time. Now, I'm going to start with how to think about your career, because you want to start from scratch, right? I don't want to just go and talk about CV writing and resume, right? Because some of you might already start thinking about your career in general. And there is this amazing article that explains in detail that career growth is not linear. So as you're looking at the screen, it is not like it is on the left-hand side. It is what you see on your right-hand side. So it has ups and downs. And even that graph doesn't necessarily depict how a career can be. If you can really go from scratch, like I mentioned, I did a few years ago, and you just have to start from scratch. So remember that your career trajectory will alternate throughout your life between fast growth and slower growth periods. And that's perfectly fine. Embrace it, love it, just enjoy the process, learn from it, because everything gives you something. As an advice from my side, you should look at your career over a longer period of time. You should see the steps that you're taking as an investment, and what is the return on investment you're going to have in a few years. It's like planting the seeds for a plant now, and obviously the plant is going to grow in a few days, weeks, maybe months. So you're not going to see sometimes the growth immediately. So remember to always have realistic expectations when you think about your career. Realize that you cannot control everything. And there are so many different factors. You can't control, though, the way you react into things. So you can focus on that. And try to use the periods when you have some time, when it's lower, when you can find the opportunities, so you can invest for the times that your career is going to grow a little bit quicker. By the way, I'm looking at another screen. I have two screens over here. So if I'm looking at different places, I wanted to let you know why. Again, on how we're thinking about our career, the same article, which, by the way, I'm going to share later, I'm going to share all the links, talks about how you can find your motivation. Because to advance your career, you need to find what really motivates you, what wakes you up in the morning. And we all know, right, that when we're motivated and when we care about something, we're going to do better. You're going to perform better. You're going to be more productive. You're going to enjoy it. So first and foremost, we have to find what really motivates us. There are three things, according to this article, which are extremely important to find your motivation. And this is the impact that a job has. So is your job having an impact to you, to somebody else, to people, to the society, communities? I don't know. For example, I know that as a talent acquisition professional, I impact people's professional lives and personal lives on a daily basis. So I love that. I love that in my job. So it keeps me up at night, for sure. Now, also people is a great motivator. It might be your family, your husband. My husband is my motivator. So it is extremely important to find those people. It might be a mentor or a coach. It might be your manager, and somebody that is supporting you, somebody that understands you, that you have confidence, that you trust, that you share the same values, that it can bring you motivation. And of course, lifelong learning. I mean, this is definitely a very important aspect, because personal growth and learning are very powerful motivational factors. We have to put learning as a default feature in our lives, honestly. The more we learn, the more we find different stimulus and we stay motivated. Now, when you're working, you are definitely selling your brain power, your energy, your skills. So in doing so, you basically do it in the face of huge competition. So you need to really find what is your competitive advantage. You really need to dig deep, find those skills, those strengths that you have, whether they're soft skills, hard skills, whatever that is, that differentiates you from the crowd. You need to find the answer to the classic interview question that we all ask as recruiters: why should we hire you and no one else? So that's another thing about how to think about your career. Now, next, I have put that, okay, you have understood a few things about how you can approach your career from a motivation perspective, let's say, but how about identifying what you really want? Maybe some of you haven't found that yet. And that is perfectly fine. I see people as a recruiter changing jobs and industries all the time in any kind of age. And I love this. I love the people find something different that motivates them, and they find pleasure in something else, and they're willing to change and challenge themselves in a different way. So when you think about how to identify what you like, if you haven't found that yet, then there are a couple of things that you can consider. And these are some of the questions. What skills and strengths are my core skills and strengths? What am I good at solving? What are the biggest needs in the market at the moment? For example, AI is a hot topic. How can I advance my career in AI? And what can I do to be on top of the game? Then obviously we discussed drivers and motivators. This might differentiate you from other people. Values, core values. And I have put over there a really interesting link about 16 personalities test. It's one of my favorites. And trust me, I've seen so many tests in my life as a recruiter that this is the best by far. I highly recommend taking it, just testing. It has 16 different personalities, and you can see what are the things that you really value. And you kind of like play games to find that out. So it's really interesting. So I highly recommend doing that. It will definitely give you like a stimulus to start from somewhere if you haven't found where you want to land your career next. Now, of course, you will ask, what are the things that I can do to identify what is the best thing that I can do to understand what I want to do next in my career? So my top favorite are research, research, research. If you don't go out there to find resources, videos, watch videos, listen to podcasts, talk to people, if you don't do your own research, if you don't gather information, you're never going to know. You have to really get out of your comfort zone, and you need to try new things. Trying new things will get you out of your comfort zone, and it will teach you new skills. It will connect you with different people. It will give you different motivators that you didn't even know that you could. You could test yourself in things that you never knew that you were good at. So if you don't try, how are you going to learn? One of my most favorite quotes is one that says that if you want to have something in life that you never had before, you have to do something in life that you have never done before. And it's basically tells you that you need to get out of your comfort zone. You cannot expect that you're going to wake up every single day, do exactly the same things that you were doing the previous day and the previous day, and life is going to happen. Miracles are going to happen. Change is going to come. No, you drive this. You're going to bring the change. So try new things, research, and just find resources. I mean, hopefully today this session is a good beginning. And actually, I'm going to stop sharing this screen really quickly, because I want to show you this link. It's called LinkedIn Career Explorer. And for those who are really looking for a career change, or they don't know what they want to do best, they don't know what skills they have and what skills are relevant and transferable to other job positions, there is this amazing link from LinkedIn. So you need to have an account, and that basically takes you here. Hopefully you can still see my screen. You basically put the area that you live in, let's say London. And then you put the role that you're interested in, the role you want to transition in, or whatever. I put project manager. So when you put the role, it gives you exactly the skills, the core skills that this project manager needs to have. And then you can see over here on the right-hand side that it tells you, okay, tells me, first of all, based on my LinkedIn profile, what's the percentage of the match that I have? For example, I matched this role by 86%, which is not surprising because talent acquisition professional can do and does project management a lot. But it tells me, okay, what are the skills overlap? What are the skills that I have, the current ones? What are the required ones, like these over here on the left? What are the ones that overlap? And what are the skills that I'm missing? What are the skills that I need to build? It gives me a few over here. And then this link over here takes me right here to LinkedIn Learning, which is an amazing platform, which, by the way, you have free access for 30 days. Then you have to pay, but why not give it a try for free for 30 days? See if you like it, if you enjoy it, if it gives you value and it provides any value. So this link, basically, depending on the job that you have put on the previous link, it gives you exactly the resources and the videos you need to watch to learn and gain those new skills. Now, I'm going to take you back. There is another platform, the AI-powered career platform, which I don't want to expand too much, but it's another platform that helps you build your career, keep track record of everything that you do while you're trying to find a new job or advance your career. So highly recommend looking at that. And the last tip that I want to give you, that you're going to hear me repeating that quite a few times on this presentation today, is about finding a network, people, a mentor or a coach that they're going to support you throughout finding a new career, changing career, or advancing your career. So you're going to ask me, probably, if you were on a live session, Steph, but how can I find a mentor and a coach? I don't know anyone in my network. That's okay. You can find people without even knowing. You can build your own network, your own connections from scratch. You can go Facebook, post a question in one of the communities and ask if somebody knows a mentor or a coach that they can refer. You can go on LinkedIn, or you can go on Google and just put on the search engine career coach, life coach, and then come up. You can put the location, for example, London, and then you're going to come up with a list of people. You can message 10 of them, the 10 that you most like. You're going to look at the profiles, shortlist the ones that you like, and then just contact them. Ask and make a personalized message on LinkedIn, send them a message and ask for their advice if they have 15 minutes, 30 minutes for a month or something that they can dedicate. They can give you like a piece of information to start with. You can also use Slack and Discord. These are two of my most favorite spaces. There are so many different communities that you can find. For example, you can go and say, okay, women in tech, Slack on Google, and it's going to come up with a list of different women in tech and let's say spaces that you can join. And you're gonna interact a lot with them, ask questions, get responses, attend meetups that they create. You can do the same with Discord, and of course meetups. Meetups is a space for collaboration, is a space where people come and they talk about a shared topic. So just leverage those to find someone that can help you with your career.
Stefania, honestly, these are so, I did expect something actionable and easy to follow and super practical. But to be honest with you, I'm so amazed by, you know, like when we get so much information as, you know, like viewers or users of something, and there's so much information, it's hard to consume it and it's hard to digest it really mentally. But when I see your slides and you presenting, I feel like, you know, as a person looking for a job, for example, I would be able to know what to do, what the next steps are, step 1, step 2, step 3. And I'm just thinking that this is what so many of us were missing, right? Someone to just share with us the information in a way that is clear, it's nicely organized, it's nicely structured, and it helps us to distress in so many different levels. So thank you so much for sharing and walking us through the slides. I want to just pause here for just a second, because you've mentioned earlier a little bit about the growth mindset and how important it is to be brave enough to just step outside our comfort zone. And when I say brave, it's better to say courageous, right? Just a little bit more courageous, and every single day, just one little step, a little bit outside our comfort zone. And that brings me in mind the way we actually met, which was in a networking event.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the pleasure to actually see you presenting live an amazing networking event organized by your team, by the Meraki team. I was amazed by the entire team, but especially I was so inspired by you. So at the end, I just came and I just approached you and just introduced myself. And of course, you know, like it wasn't easy. Like every time I go to a networking event and I really want to speak to someone, mm-hmm. I just try to give some courage to myself mentally, emotionally. And I'm like, you got this, you can do it. And I remember how welcoming and how like amazing, how lovely you were with me. Like you made me feel so comfortable. And that brings me to my question that I got from one of our members, really, who said, Alex, can you ask Stefania how can networking and building professional relationships help in finding job opportunities? And what is your advice? What are your tips when it comes to that?
Of course. I actually have a slide that I talk extensively about networking and ways to find a new job by networking. But thank you to this lady that asked that question. There are so many ways. First of all, I mentioned one. You're trying to find a new job and you need somebody to help you throughout this journey. It is not an easy journey. It is quite time consuming, mentally, physically. So if you don't have somebody that can support you, it could be a family member that can support you mentally, right, psychologically, but it would be really nice to have somebody that knows a little bit more about the steps, the stress that finding a new job has. So finding a mentor or a coach would be my advice to start with. Finding somebody to share that journey with them, ask them questions, try to alleviate that pain, get the stress out of the way. So that's how networking helps. And as I mentioned, there are so many different ways you can network with people you know. You can go on Ladies in the UK in our Facebook space and ask that question. You can come to me now that you know me. Ask me if I know anyone. I can help you from a recruiter perspective. I can tell you the tips, what is happening in the background, because there are so many misconceptions that people apply, they get rejected all the time, and they think they're not qualified, which is not true. There are so many reasons we recruiters reject candidates, and it's not just something that has to do with your qualifications. Maybe it was, for example, giving priority to, I don't know, an internal talent. Maybe somebody was on the final interview process before you. Maybe you come from abroad and you need visa and sponsorship, and the company doesn't have budget for that. So having somebody that knows what is happening behind the scenes and stand by you is really important. So that would be my suggestion. Just the first thing that comes to mind, how networking helps. Also, networking, now that I'm thinking about it, is when you share the good and the bad with the community, with people sometimes you don't even know, but they go through the same pain. It just helps you. It relieves the pain. You're thinking, oh my God, it wasn't just me. I thought it was just me that I'm crying my eyes out because I get rejected all the time. I thought it's just me that I have lost my motivation. I thought it was just me that I can't find a new job and when I just moved from one country to the other. And then you find a community, you realize that everyone has the same concerns, and that kind of makes you feel better. And then you both discuss best practices. So that's another way why networking helps.
There is something empowering when we actually create a community, when we feel that sense of belonging, when we're able to build that community ourselves. And that's what I love in our community, in our group, that so many women, they're always there to connect with each other and support and empower each other. So I'm going to let you, Stefania, to walk us through up until the end of the presentation. I will ask the rest of our questions at the very end, really. So I'm going to put myself on mute to let you go through everything.
Sounds good, Alexandra. Thank you so much. I'm going to share my full screen again, just to make it a smoother experience for everyone. Now, we did say that the main topic of this presentation was tips on how we can advance our career. So here I list a few of my most favorite ones. The first thing, of course, is about setting specific and smart goals. I mean, defining what advancement means to you is really important. What is your goal? Is it to get a promotion? Is it to learn a new skill? Is it to take on more responsibility? Once you know what is your specific goal, the milestone, the destination, actually, it becomes so much easier to plan this journey. Of course, there are so many ways that you can help yourself with setting those goals. You can leverage LinkedIn learning courses. Sorry, not set the goal. This is how you can, let's say, if you have set your specific goal about, let's say that I want to learn a new skill, what are the platforms that I can use to learn those skills? We mentioned LinkedIn Learning earlier about the project manager role. Now I want to introduce you to Udemy and Coursera. These are two of one of my favorites, actually, online learning platforms, which are actually paid, but there are some courses that cost even £10, £20. So if you have a budget, and it's really worth investing in those. You can, of course, when you're setting the goal, you can ask your employer if they can support you with your growth and development. Maybe they can help you set those goals. For example, you can ask your manager, hey, manager, I want to become a leader in the next 2 years. What are the steps I need to take in the next 2 years to become a leader, to get where I want to be. So they should definitely be able to help you drive that roadmap. And it's definitely worth asking, putting that question there. And of course, I want to remind you that when you're setting those goals, another way that you can leverage knowledge, and as I call it, it's really free university, just go on YouTube, explore resources out there that are free. Sign up to newsletter based on the industry that you're in. Find what are the biggest influencers in your industry. Connect with them on LinkedIn. Watch videos on the YouTube. Some of them, they might have done TED Talks. So try to find those resources to get where you want. We talked a lot about building a strong network. I said I'm going to repeat that a lot today. Then if you want to advance your career, you really need to get again out of your comfort zone and show initiative. Don't just wait to be given responsibility out of the blue. If you don't care about yourself, and if you don't drive this, no one is going to drive it for you. So ask for more responsibility. Showing initiative indicates that you're ready for more and you can handle more, and it just shows willingness to do more in general. So it's quite motivating for leaders and managers to see that. Then, of course, we talked about mentorship. That's another way. And perform beyond expectations. Now, this might not work for everyone, depending on where you are, whether your team sees your achievements, sees that you go above and beyond. But if somebody does, if you're working in a non-toxic environment, consistently exceeding expectations in your current role shows that you're ready to get to the next level. So be the person that you're gonna go the extra mile, and try to show some consistency as much as you can, right? And of course, discuss on your one-to-ones with your manager, your team, your mentor, and how am I going? What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Where do I need to improve? What are my strengths? What are the things that I need to develop? Always seek feedback, because it just shows also your eagerness to learn and improve. And that is amazing. This is something that employers want to see. And remember to promote yourself. Whether you're extroverts, whether you're introverts, you have to find that inner voice that knows that you're really good at what you're doing, and you know what your achievements are, you know what you've done. You need to promote yourself. You need to find that voice and just make sure that relevant people know about the things that you're doing good. They know your skills, they know your achievements. Don't be shy to get out there and show that to them. On the next slides, and this hopefully is relevant to the question that the lady has already asked us. I want to walk you through ways to find a new job. And I have a lot of links that I'm sharing here. And I'm going to actually, give me 1 second, stop sharing this one. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I want to show you some of these links because I actually love them. And I think it will provide great value. So ways to find a new job. Let's say that you are a woman looking for a new job. What do you do first on your checklist? You need to create a plan. You need to create a strategy, a checklist, a to-do list. It will help you organize. Now, there are a few different ways that you can organize yourself. I have shared 3 tools that are my favorite: TL, Miro, and Excel. Now, Miro is one of my favorites, and I'm gonna show you exactly how it looks like creating a dashboard on Miro and organizing your job search. Perfect, it's loading up. So this is a dashboard that a lady, her name is Amanda, has created for herself that basically shows how she has structured her job search. So if I zoom in a little bit, you will be able to see that she has created post-its. I mean, you can have your own board on the house, on your house, and create like post-it notes of what do I need to do first, what to do second, third, etc., etc. But you can do that online as well and just have it saved. So that's what Miro does. Over here, Amanda has listed her reflections, on what she needs to work on, how she pictures her future. Then over here in the middle, she has listed some tips on what are the things that she really needs to know about herself before she does her job search, something about motivations, about the values that she has, the kind of environment she looks for, the companies, the grade of the position, the level of the position she's looking for. And then again, if I zoom in, you're going to see how amazing this dashboard is. She has listed, okay, what do I need to do with my CV to make a really standout CV? What is my portfolio? What are the things that I need to add on my CV? And last but not least, she has listed exactly the progress she's making with the companies she's interviewing for. So how many applications do I have? Have I done the first recruiting screen, the hiring manager screen? What are the company benefits? And she has listed everything. So Miro is a really interactive way to list your priorities. Love that and highly recommend it. And there is another one, Excel spreadsheet from another inspiring lady. Her name is Gabriella. And Gabriella has created an Excel spreadsheet. Over here, you see it's going to load up, and it has an application tracker with all the details she needs to have while she's going through an interview process and a job search, companies she's looking for, her dream job. And if you see on the tabs here below, she has listed what is her dream job, what are the favorite things that she's looking for in a job. So highly recommend those two resources while you're trying to organize your strategy. Now, very important is to find out what are the companies that are hiring. I mean, for example, in the tech industry at the moment, there are a lot of companies like Google, Microsoft, big tech companies that are laying off massively people. Some of you might know. So if you're curious to find out who are the people that are hiring, there are a lot of different resources that you can find. Some of them look like this. You can see that this is updating live. It's the ultimate list of companies still hiring. And you can see it's by date, I think, but you can filter by location, by department, etc., etc. What are the companies that are actually hiring at the moment? Here, they're listed alphabetically from what I can see. So try to find other resources through LinkedIn, through Glassdoor, Indeed. There are so many different ways, such as also job boards, like Indeed. Over here, I have listed a few. The Greek startup pirate is one of my favorites because these are Greek startups across the globe. And some of them actually have listed remote job openings. Have a look at that. I've also shared with you a link over here with if anyone particularly is interested only in applying in remote jobs. And there is this amazing list of just remote job boards. So you can just put them on your favorites and look at them. They're specific in the UK, but also Europe. So you can just have a quick look at them. I have listed the best job boards for women, particularly, because this is a women's space, right? And we try to promote women's career as much as we can. So you can find specific job boards for women. Some of them can be tech related, particularly, but some not. I have listed over here 3 bonus ways to find a new job. My most favorite one is this one. 50 ways to get a new job. And actually, I have saved it right here. Super colorful. And I'm pretty sure different women in this space today, they're in a different career, let's say, path, right? Some of them trying to find a new job. Some of them, they're trying to learn a new skill. Some of them, they're just happy where they are. So just select where you are from this dashboard over here. For example, if you're trying to find your purpose and it takes you here and you're trying to find what is your dream job, it gives you a few questions. You know, it's like a psychotherapy kind of thing. So it gives you the questions that you need to ask to yourself to get where you want. So highly recommend looking at that and playing around just to help you find a new job, really. I'm going to go next over here and I'm going to share my full screen again we talked about ways that we can find a new job, but I know some of you are particularly interested on ways that we can find a new job in the tech industry. First of all, let me clarify, there is a misconception over here. And a lot of people think that you have to have technical knowledge, technical skills to get into the tech industry, which is completely wrong. I don't have any technical skill, and I work at Cisco, which is one of the biggest technology companies. So there are so many other professions, occupations that you can do in the tech industry. For example, you can become a recruiter. You can work in marketing. You can work in operations. You can work in customer service. And we even collaborate with some specific jobs in nursing, in sustainability. And there are tech companies that do, for example, that there are tech companies that take care of healthcare, they teach you new ways of learning, they teach you new ways of doing customer service. So you can go and you can find out what are these tech companies are. And this is my advice over here. Do exactly what we said on the last slide, if there is a checklist. But if you want particularly to find a job in the tech industry, just research about the tech companies. I'm going to show you a tip through AI that you can find about tech companies. Try to find what are the tech industries, connect with the people that work in those tech companies, ask people to connect, have impromptu calls on WebEx, on Zoom, just to find out about what they do, where they got there. I'm more than happy on a different session or in one-to-one sessions to explain about my career trajectory and how I got into tech. Make sure that you apply to jobs. Just don't be afraid, even if you don't qualify 100% to the job post. Trust me, us as recruiters, we're looking so much into bringing women into workspaces that we're going to definitely give you priority if you apply, even if you don't qualify 100%. Try to attend meetups, tech meetups, of course. And as a bonus, try to become a member of women associations. I have listed over here 2 associations, Atlas List and Power to Fly, which are particularly for women. Some women that work in tech, some women not. So you can just be part of a community and just exchange views and best practices on how other people have succeeded on that. Now, before we go into the next slides, I would like to stop right there because I'm conscious that I'm talking a lot and I know it's not as interactive as it would have been this session if it was in person. Alexandra, are there any questions from our community? Anything you would like to clarify on?
Yes, actually, it was great. I mean, you covered so much in such a short period of time. But there is a question I've just received via Messenger. There is a person who is asking, what are some entry-level positions or roles suitable for tech newcomers? Right?
Absolutely.
What would you recommend? What type of roles would you recommend to focus?
Yeah, I can talk confidently about Cisco, about the company that I'm working with, and we have a lot of customer service roles, just pure customer service roles. For example, there is one that it's called Support Operations Specialist, which actually I'm going to open really soon in the next few months. I'm going to open this position. It's entry level. But it's a full-time permanent, you get all the benefits, you get everything. And basically you're just speaking with we give you, of course, full onboarding about the industry, our company, the products that we sell, the services. And as soon as you feel confident and you're ready and up to speed, then you just speak with customers, explaining some of the issues that they come up with, while they come up with a technical question. So just pure customer service roles you can find in any technical company, in speaking with the customer. So that would be my suggestion. And actually, last year we had a lady, she's coming from a Black background. She attended one of our women of Meraki events, because I particularly work in the Cisco Meraki division. And by the way, it is not a great company, Meraki. I will tell you another day about that. But Meraki is another networking company, and we did a Women of Meraki event. And she attended it. She applied in one of our jobs. she got shortlisted, and she did amazing on the finals, and we hired her, and she has been with us for 6 months now. And she's loving the job, of course. She's reaping all the benefits. And actually, she was out of unemployment for 5 years because she grew her own family and she struggled to find a new job. So she attended that event on her own, and she's at Cisco today. So
wow. So networking works, as we've said
100%.
before. It can be a game changer. And my next question, I guess, is about those women that we have so many in our network who do friend jobs, not in technology at all, like they might be in marketing or PR, and they ask how they can actually break into tech. How can they do a change career for the very first time, right? So what tips, what type of advice would you give to these women?
Of course, I mean, I think I'm just going to go back real quick over here. I'm really sorry. So no, it's this slide, right? It's about finding the tech companies. First of all, you want to go into tech. What are the tech companies? Do we know? We need to find that out. It might be the big tech companies like Google and Microsoft, but it's not just them. You have no idea. The list is exhaustive. Just go on Google and find, and just type, what are the top tech startups in the UK, the 50 tech startups. Right. And I'm going to introduce you AI later. We can find another quick way that we can find that out. Yes. Try to connect in LinkedIn spaces, meetups, Slack spaces, as I mentioned earlier, which come with title Women in Tech, Women in STEM, Women who code. There are women in Python, women who Go, that do Go programming languages. So go and subscribe in one of the lists that I share over here, the others list on Power to Fly. These are all women that want to get into the tech. So just throw yourself out there, find those tech resources and just engage. Find tech people, come to me. I'm here for you. I would leverage me. Ask me, Steph, what tech resources do you have? What other companies do you know that are doing well, that are supportive of women, inclusive of women? So I'm more than happy to do that.
You are one of the very few women recruiters I know that, you are so passionate about this, and your passion is so contagious, because women in tech for you is not just a good, nice thing to talk about. I know that it's part of your mission and part of your purpose and your values. And I feel it, every single time I speak with you, Stefania. So thank you for making this generous offer to our community to be there for them and connect, which is great. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to let you go through the rest of up until the end of the presentation. It's not a problem that we're gonna end, in like 10 minutes, I would say so. So please take your time, and at the end, I'll ask a few questions. But for those of you that we won't cover your questions today, we're super excited because we're gonna do a part 2. And yeah, I mean, I feel like we're super lucky having Stefania with us. So Stefania, I'm going to let you go through the rest of the slides. I'm going to be on mute.
Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you for all your kind words. And I am excited indeed for part 2. Hopefully it will be in person as well. Cool. Okay. So we're going to dive in. We talked about how to think about career. We talked about how I can advance my career, how can I find a new job, and how I can find what motivates me. And so obviously we would need a CV to be able to apply to any job in any industry that we're looking to advance our career. Or we might be looking to just get a promotion in another sector, or in our current company in another role. So we need to update our CV. And trust me, I know how time-consuming that is. I know how much energy you need to put into that. It can take hours. It takes me days, to be fair, trying to find all my accomplishments. You really have to dig deep. So I don't want to spend too much time going through the very basics, because I'm pretty sure some of you have heard this like 1,000 times. what to do to create a standout CV, I just want to focus on a few things. Make sure that your CV is 1 or 2 pages maximum. Trust me, us as recruiters, we do not spend more than, I'm going to say, they say 6 minutes. I'm going to say, I don't spend more than 15 minutes per CV. So I'm only looking at the very top, at the very relevant. I'm not even looking what somebody did 10 years ago. It's not relevant anymore. Life changes, technology changes, skills change all the time. So make sure you keep it simple, 1 to 2 pages. Make sure you list specific accomplishments. Don't just copy paste what you see on the job description. Make it relevant to the job description, of course, but try to make it personal on what you have achieved, what you bring on the table, your competitive advantage. I want to share an amazing tool. Again, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I shared a few template ideas through Canva, Zeti, Live Career, and Resume.io, but my favorite one is this one. It is called AI Resume Writer. I have already prepared an example over here. It takes you here. You basically give this tool your your details. For example, you are a project manager again, right? And you have this and this and these skills. And it basically gives you a structure. It gives you a ready CV. So I love that. You just have to work on the details, really. Remember, don't put too much confidential information. According to GDPR law, we are not allowed, and it is really restricted by law, to put any information that has to do with your personal home address, your ethnicity, your religion, your marital status. Whether you have kids is no one's business. And skip the photo. Really, you don't want people to hire you for how you look. Like you don't want to spend any space on your CV for that, right? People can look on your LinkedIn, and you can put a professional photo there if you would like. So yeah, this is a really cool tool. Highly recommend looking at that. And also Grammarly. Grammarly is a Google extension that rectifies any grammatical errors. So as you're typing online, it tells you exactly when you're making an error. This is really useful even when you're writing emails, when you're creating your cover letter, etc. So highly recommend looking at that. And one other thing that I want to share, which is my most favorite, and I'm going to jump a few slides for that, is ChatGPT. Okay. So I love this so much. This topic is my favorite since Christmas last year. I am obsessed with ChatGPT. So consider this AI tool as your job search AI assistant. So just to give you some context, ChatGPT is like a robot. You give it prompts, you ask a question, and it replies back. It is like a chat box, a really live chat box. It's like you have another human being, which is not a human being, it's a robot, asking a question. For example, you can ask ChatGPT, actually, let me do a test, because I want to show you a live example of how you can leverage it for your job search, CV writing, creating your LinkedIn profile, etc. You can go, this is how ChatGPT looks. You can go over here and ask ChatGPT, can you please list the top 10 tech companies in the UK? And it just comes up with the top 10 tech companies in the UK. You might ask ChatGPT, can you please list the top 20 companies in the UK that are most diverse and most inclusive? It will give you the response. So in the question that Alexandra asked me earlier, how can I get into tech? Just ask ChatGPT. Hey ChatGPT, I am a woman living in the UK. I work as a project manager and I want to break into tech. What advice would you have? Trust me, it will give you a solid response. What are the steps you need to take? Another way, by the way, that reminds me, to find companies in the tech industry that are women inclusive is to go and find what are the great places to work. I mean, every year there is a list of the top places to work as a woman. They're advertised publicly, and you can also ask ChatGPT. It will give you this information. You can go on Google and just find that out. And you can see, for example, like the ranking over here. So you can find Salesforce, another tech company. You can find what are those, try and do a research, remember research. Capgemini is another tech company. So try to find what are these, the best companies to work as a woman, and you can just apply to those jobs. So I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth, but there is a lot of information. Hopefully it's not overwhelming, and hopefully you can watch the recording later and yeah, take it step by step and everything will make sense. But to go back on your CV, you can go over here and ask ChatGPT to help you with your CV. I have a link over here, which I'm also going to share, that basically says, okay, how can it help me write a resume, right? And it gives you specific prompts. I'm scrolling quickly down here. For example, create a professional summary for a resume that is under 100 words, showcasing skills and experiences relevant to project manager role in the tech industry. And it will give you exactly a CV listed with those skills. Just have AI as your job assistant really, really works. You could do the same thing with LinkedIn. I highly recommend, first of all, having a LinkedIn profile. If I wish I could ask you on a live session, and feel free to respond to Alexandra, how many of you have a LinkedIn profile? How many of you that you have a LinkedIn profile actually use it? Because as a recruiter, I can confidently tell you that this is where I hang out every day. This is where I find new talents. And it's where every recruiter hangs out every day. So if you are there, we're going to find you and we're going to recruit you. If you're not there, chances are we're not going to find you. And if you just send your CV, you're not making any difference from what the other people do. So remember that your CV is a passive way of showcasing your skills and experience. Your LinkedIn is a live way because you interact, you create content, you leave comments. People see your thoughts, your feedback. People see your attitude, your personality. The content that you post says something about you. It's a professional network. So leverage your LinkedIn, create your LinkedIn. I have put a list of things here that you can leverage while you're creating profile. And if you're struggling with creating a summary or finding a proper title, or if you're open to work and you don't know how to put that, where would you go? Well, I have the response over here, ChatGPT and LinkedIn profile. There is a link over here that gives you a lot of prompts that you can use. My favorite one, which, by the way, I have tested it, but I haven't actually put it in practice, is create a LinkedIn summary for a technical recruiter. That's what I would put, for example, for me. And it gives you a summary. So I know it's long, and I think summaries on LinkedIn can only be up to 2,000 words, but you can make it short. You can basically take that, copy, and say, please summarize the below summary in, I don't know, 100 words. And it will give you a summary of the above. And it's so much, it's so much better. My suggestion is, by the way, ChatGPT is amazing. I use it every day for different occasions. But remember, whatever you do, try to put yourself on it. If I were to put that summary on my LinkedIn profile, I would like to rectify it. Try to put myself on it. I would personalize it. That's what I mean. Don't just copy paste things, because sometimes ChatGPT can give you really robotic responses. You want to personalize it. You want to make it yours. You want to show your authentic self and not just the robot's response. But it's a good way to start. So leverage that for your LinkedIn profile. And while we're talking about LinkedIn, I just want to emphasize how important it is to build your professional brand. We talked just seconds ago about it is important on LinkedIn to just participate, engage in conversations, to build your network. because it will give you a lot back. I can promise you that. I can guarantee you that. So it is a live CV. Remember that. So it's something that differentiates you from other people. It is important, therefore, to use it because somebody sees you alone, right? It's not just a letter, a cover letter, or just a CV. CVs are really similar. So make sure you connect with people. Make sure that you engage in public conversations relevant to your industry. That would be preferable, because that way, as a recruiter, for example, myself, I would say, oh my God, this person is really engaging in those conversations. Who is he? Who are they? Let me ping them. Let me find them. Let me start a conversation with them. Try to create your own authentic content. Use Grammarly if you want to correct any spelling mistakes. Use ChatGPT if you want to tweak a little bit your content, if you don't know how to make it more inclusive. And again, showcase your work, get endorsed, join groups, and contribute.
I feel like we've learned so much in such a short amount of time. And speaking of time, I'm conscious of the time. So I want to say that, honestly, I'm not looking for a job, but if I would, I mean, this presentation is golden. So if our members would love to access the slides, Stefania, where can they actually go?
Good question. I'm more than happy to share these slides with you. So whoever asks you individually, you can share with them. They can contact me on LinkedIn. I'm just going to share again my LinkedIn profile. You can just find it on this barcode, but you can just type my name on LinkedIn and find me there. Please connect with me. I'm more than happy to continue this conversation there. For the rest of the slides, anyways, I was just talking about how you can leverage AI on your job search and job advancement. I also highlight what are my most favorite people to follow that can give you the best tips for career advice. And of course, my favorite productivity tools, because sometimes we struggle with how, when we're looking for a job, when we're trying to advance our career. And of course, I mean, I know it's your favorite topic about how to keep a mind healthy. So I'm more than happy to continue.
I think that the last slide, we need to do it part 3, because you know how much passionate I'm about this topic. And by the way, Pomodoro is my favorite technique to organize my time and my projects. So I highly recommend it. So for those of you who either joined us a little bit later in the conversation, or those of you who might watch a little bit later the replay, a few days later, a few weeks later, we will make sure we include Stefania's links in the description. So if you want access to the tools or the slides, or I mean, to have a conversation with her, I know that she's more than happy to help. And that's why she was here with us today. So please feel free to reach out and say hi. She's a lovely person. And I know this from my own personal experience, because as I've said before, I got the amazing opportunity to get to meet her during our networking event, where she was one of the speakers and everyone was surrounding her, trying to talk to her, and she found some time for every single person in the room. And I saw that with my own eyes. So feel free, she's super friendly, she's super approachable. Feel free to connect and ask for whatever you'd like to ask. In terms of the more questions, I feel like throughout the entire presentation, we covered like 95% of your questions. However, if you have more, you can just drop them in the comments, and I'll let Stefania know about your extra questions. I will come back to you with the responses. Or option B, you can actually connect with Stefania on LinkedIn, and you can ask her directly via the social media platform. Stefania, are there any things that you would like to add before we end our conversation today, which was so lovely?
Thank you massively for giving me this opportunity, for hopefully expanding my network. I really hope that I can connect with as many women out there as possible. Thank you for urging everyone and prompting everyone just to connect with me. That's what we want, to connect with each other. We talked about network, and building our network. So that's what I'm here for. And I will do, my team will do a lot of recruiting events in the future. And a lot of them are going to be women-oriented. So I promise you that I will extend an invitation to everyone. So apart from our community here, hopefully I will be able to see you in our Cisco Meraki premises in London one day.
Oh my God, that would be awesome. And I just want to say that I've already invited Stefania to come and speak to us live in person at one of our upcoming events. So I just can't wait for this moment to come true. But I'm so glad that Stefania today, as she mentioned earlier, she's more than happy to do a part two. Next time is going to be another conversation, which will be again about women and career, women in tech. And I'd love to hear your comments and hear your questions and see you joining us as you did today. I want to say a big, big thank you to all of you that you joined today. Some of you, I know that you stayed a little bit longer. Some of you were parts and parts of the conversation because you know that you can watch this later, the replay. So all of those of you that you actually engage with us here live, and all of those of you that you will join on the replay, please feel free to leave your comments. And thank you so much for your time, your energy, your attention. Stefania, how was your experience today?
Oh my God, it was lovely. It was amazing. It was so much better than I thought. I was stressed, you know that. But I mean, obviously it was amazing because I think there was a flow. I had you supporting me throughout. All your kind words gave me energy for sure. Knowing inside my head that some women, it doesn't matter how many are there and they're listening, and hopefully one of these resources will help them in something. Just motivates me and kept me motivating throughout this this session today. So yeah, amazing experience. But I can't wait to meet people in person. I know that nothing can replace the in-person interaction.
Nothing. And we organize a lot of gatherings, as you know already, with many of our members. So we'll make sure that you are invited as a special guest or as a special speaker on one of our upcoming events. And I'm so glad that you are, that we have amazing women and in our network, right? Because now, want it or not, you are part of our network. So we're so excited because you believe in women empowerment as much as we do. I want also to give a special thanks to the team, the amazing team of EGL. Without this great team, the dream team, Elizabeth Grigoriadou and Katerina Tuda, nothing would be possible. And of course, the amazing ambassadors in our community. Big thanks to you, Stefania, for this beautiful, amazing, inspiring, spot-on presentation. Amazing, great job. I thought it would be a conversation, and then I've realized that there will be a fantastic presentation. I was like, wow. So every single month, ladies, we raise the bars, we raise the standards of the quality of content and inspiration we actually offer via our network. So I'm so inspired by you, Stefania. Once again, so inspired. I look up to you, and I get so much strength and courage by women like you, that you are always there to give and receive, but in a way that in a compassionate, kind, loving way. So thank you so much for being in our network and in my network. I feel so privileged.
Thank you too. It's mutual. The feelings are mutual.
Next one, because it's going to be part 2 and I can't wait.
100%. I look forward to hearing the feedback from today's session, because I would like us to make it as relevant as possible to women's particular needs, right? So let's personalize it. Let's tailor it to what people want next time, because I know it was quite big, it was quite generic. Some of the topics some people might have heard in the past. So next time, let's just focus on the things that are most important for our women in our network.
Yeah, today was an amazing overview. And next time we'll have also a poll, and we'll ask specific questions to us to see what do they like to hear the most. But today I feel this introductory overview session was exactly what we needed to kick off an initiative of, learning experiences. And so I'm so glad that we did it with you. I mean, so honored that you spend your time with us and your precious time, and I really appreciate you, and you know how much. So thank you, Stefania.
Thank you.
And I look forward for our next one. Can't wait.
Me too. Have a lovely evening, everyone.
Enjoy the summer and see you soon.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye, Stefania. Bye.